How you guys doing? It's me, Ken Thomas, aka Mr. Smooth with Tailor Made Officials. I'm here with a special guest. So, can you please tell the people at home your name?
My name is CourtSmith from CourtSmith Basketball Industries.
Okay, so I'm here to interview you about the company that you have. You got some fresh gear I see. You also design our uniform. So I want to ask you, how did the birth behind CourtSmith Basketball? How did everything come into fruition?
Well, I was designing around 2000. That's when I started really getting into designing athletic apparel. It's been my passion. Um, I always loved hoop, and it gave me an opportunity to stay close to the sport, even though I wasn't playing at a high level. And so I've been an artist damn near my whole life in terms of designing. I was the dude airbrushing the overalls in high school for people. It's probably y'all don't know nothing about that if y'all are youngsters, but for the ones who was born in 1980s or younger, you know what that is. So I used to do the airbrushing. Um, I used to design flyers for parties and house parties, and I used to restore shoes. And I mean, I could do anything. I would do anything creative to make money in school. Around apparel and T-shirts and stuff like that. So it's always been my passion.
So you was born with the arts. Some people could draw amazing canvases. So I'm pretty sure you had that talent as well. Did you go to school to get that talent, or how did you get the art bug in your body?
Man, I was always just that nerdy kid in the corner, drawing. It wasn't necessarily something I went to school for. I just loved drawing. And you put me in a corner with a piece of paper and a pen and a pencil, and I was as earlier as I can remember. That's all I was doing, drawing Transformers and you know hip hop things, and like I was just a passion. So I think it's more maybe not necessarily talent, just is something that a skill I acquired over time from just doing it so much. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you come up with the idea, the development of Court Smith basketball? What made you start your own company?
Um, well, like I said, around 2000, I had a brand called YPA, Young Players Association, and it was a street ball brand, and we focused a lot on basically getting players some shine, getting putting a spotlight on Bay Area basketball players because we felt at the time they wasn't getting shine. So I created an athletic apparel brand surrounding these players, hopefully that I can get them some exposure so that they can get sent to the pros or ABA or college or somewhere. And that was a brand, and I loved doing it. And we helped a lot of players get scenes, get shine, go on tours, tour around the world. And so that company took a kind of a turn to where we had to shut it down. And so I kept that passion in my heart. Like one day I'm gonna start another basketball brand, but I needed more skill set. I needed more experience. I needed more business savvy. And so what I did was I started working for other people who was in the apparel industry, just so I could soak up game and see how they was running their business and how they were the moves and decisions that they were making. And so once I felt I was ready, then I decided to step out on my own and do my own brand again. And it came from a basketball shoe idea I had, and but the basketball shoes coming. But what I wanted to do first was to launch the actual apparel side of the brand and help these teams upgrade their look. And that was my first objective when I came into the game again.
So you say you wanted to put the players, give them some shine. I remember going to your website when you were set up at Jamtown. You had the monitor up of different basketball players getting interviewed. No, you had the Kyries up there, and a lot of other players that I remember officiating where they were younger, and to see them in high school getting ready to take that next step. How does that make you feel to see these young guys, these young girls out here playing basketball, living out your dream, and about to take that next step, and knowing that you played a part in that?
I love it. I mean, it's really what it's all about. I mean, there is a thing that goes a statement that goes on around here where they say It's all about the kids, right? And so you really don't know whether someone is all about the kids until at the end, or when they don't make it, or when they can't serve your interests anymore, or when they ain't playing on your AAU team anymore. That's when you can tell when a coach or someone is all about the kids. And so at the end of the day, to me, that's what it's about, is creating a space for these kids to shine. And it's one of the most enjoyable things that's a part of this job, is to see all these kids grow up, and the relationships that we built with them over time, and us loving on each other and supporting each other, win, lose, or draw. I mean, that's just, you can't put a price tag on that. You know what I'm saying?
So one thing that your company do represents, you're an Oakland brand, and we know the city of Oakland is very near and dear to your heart, as it is with everybody who you do business with. Can you tell the people at home why the city of Oakland is so important to you?
I don't think I would be here without the city of Oakland, in terms of really instilling that work ethic, that independent mindset. You know, as a young black entrepreneur, even the statement of saying I'm starting my own basketball brand, people are like, "What?" Like shocked, because why in the hell would you go up against a Nike or Adidas and an Under Armour? Like, look in the mirror, you know. But us being from Oakland, like, that doesn't even make me feel no type of way. Like, we believe we can do what we want to do. If we put our mind, our hustle, our heart to it, our intellect, we could do it. So why not us? And so the city of Oakland is um, very influential in teaching and creating that mindset with us. Like, I grew up, you know, one of the neighborhoods I lived on was 64th and Mack. And so as a fifth grader, I would see Too Short come up to Burbank Elementary and sell his tapes out the trunk. So to me, it's like, oh, you got a trunk? That's your store. You know what I mean? And you got tapes and the ability to record it, then that's your inventory. And it's just like that. And so you go find your target market, and that's Sundays when everybody's playing hoop. That's when the most of the target market will be there. And now you got a business. And that's the mentality from the gate that you learn. And so I appreciate and I love this city. And that's why, you know, we represent it a lot in everything that we do.
So one thing you said that I felt very important was black entrepreneurship, with black businesses, having them be successful. And you said you wanted to compete on the level with Adidas, Nike, Target, Puma, all of the big apparel stores. And I got some of your gear that you made for Tailor Made right here. Now I want to take a minute to show the people at home the kind of stuff that you could put on a t-shirt, to help build other people's brand, because the designs that Will gave you to put on the t-shirts and the designs that you just took it to another level. So I'm going to put the mic down and we're going to see what we have right here. This was one of the second hoodies right here. So as you can see, looking pretty nice, and you flip it over and it's got the social media, but what I like about it, you put the number on there, the detail with the lines on the hoodie, it's real nice. The shorts with the number, they got the CourtSmith logo right there. Then we have the referee camp shirts right here. Everything is real nice, real detailed. And of course we got the referee shirts right there, and I'm really interested in seeing what you have coming for the future for us. So what are you going to do to take the next step to, really go to that next level and take your business out there so everybody can see what you have and just see the revenue, the profits, and then the community get involved and everything get better?
Well, first of all, like, Will's my folks. So, you guys' organization is we launched at very close times, and so it's, y'all got a special place in my heart. I'm always gonna look to see how I can make you guys super fresh out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a given. You feel me? And then beyond that, it's being an entrepreneur out of Oakland. To me, we have to create a new mindset, and that mindset is, yes, have the independent mindset to create something, but in order to succeed and expand and scale, you got to link up with like-minded business people, like-minded people. If you don't, then you're gonna end up being on an island. And a lot of times islands you don't survive. So you gotta join forces with people and exchange value with other businesses and business people in the community so that a um, like they say, it takes a village, right? So it takes a village to build a brand as well. So if you have that village mentality and you always trying to serve someone and add value to who they are, the reciprocation happens, and that's how we expect and how we want to grow.
So growing up, I saw a bunch of kids, they had talents, they could take like you did, take a paper, pencil, and put genius on the paper. But then when it came to them trying to monetize that, they didn't have the know-how to do it. But people like us, who are starting our own companies, our own brands, we now have the know-how, but more importantly, we could reach out to the youth and teach them, and maybe they could start a business in high school instead of having to go to college and then go work for somebody else. They could start their own and start it right now. That's one thing with Tailor Made. We're trying to develop a program where kids could have that avenue. And I would love to have you work with us. Like I said, you're a graphic design genius. So can you explain the importance of having a program for the youth to get involved? So maybe if they have a passion for something, they could do it right now instead of having to wait. They could learn the craft, get better at it, and by the time they're 21, 25, they already have a successful company or entrepreneurship going.
Absolutely. Um, it's all about apprenticeship. You don't necessarily have to take the college route, but college can be good. But it's about apprenticeship. I think one thing that's great about social media and the internet is that you can jump on YouTube and learn the skill set. But a lot of times people think it's hella easy. It's that easy. Like I can start a business and tomorrow I'm a billionaire, and that happens 0.0000001% of the time. So the rest of the time, the rest of us, we got to learn from somebody who got it. So the key, the real secret sauce is that apprenticeship. And it's people nowadays like you guys and us and companies, with younger cats who are willing to train and teach and apprentice our younger generation so that they can be better than us. The whole goal is for our next generation of kids to be better than us. And I want to be a part of doing our job in that. So we do things at the scale that we are at CourtSmith basketball in terms of who we hire and the kids and where we hire them from, and mentoring kids to teach them that it don't got to take you 4 years to learn Illustrator or Photoshop. I throw kids in the fire. I give them a basic skill set, and then I make them use their brains so that they can learn on the job, and that's how you acquire the skill. And so I didn't learn Photoshop, Illustrator, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, any of those programs that we use to create CourtSmith basketball by going to school. I learned them by buying a book at Barnes and Nobles, and hitting YouTube tutorials up when I got stuck. And some of the time, I think one of the books I didn't have the money to buy, so I read it in the bookstore. So when you want something, you just go after it, and then you learn from the people who got better skill set than you. So we could do that all day, because that's part of our job, and I think it would be great for us to do that and work together in that regard.
So hard work and dedication. What does CourtSmith basketball have planned for the future? What kind of goals do you have for your company?
We want to keep expanding our brand, and we got a shoe coming. So we're working on the prototypes right now, and so we have a basketball shoe, and God willing, the goal is that we're gonna help disrupt and change the game in terms of basketball footwear that helps prevent a lot of the injuries that are happening right now. So we spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money in understanding foot mechanics and the causes of a lot of injuries in basketball. And I think kids deserve to have their careers extended as long as they can play, not just based on because I like this brand of shoe. And so I think we got some exciting things coming on the footwear market. We're expanding in a couple different cities, and we want to keep expanding our brand and adding value to people. And hopefully, kids continue to rock with CourtSmith and like us.
So people at home, there's a bunch of people watching us right now that's going to see this video. Where can they find CourtSmith basketball?
CourtSmith.com, www.CourtSmith.com. You can purchase stuff on the web. All the other sites, we have pop-ups every weekend. So we at a tournament. We're somewhere at a tournament. So between Sacramento and LA and Vegas, you're going to see us. And if not, hit up CourtSmith.com.
So you guys heard that, CourtSmith.com. I'll put the links in the description. Check them out. Court, it was great talking to you. I'm very excited with what the future has, not only for CourtSmith basketball, but as a community as a whole. So with that said, CourtSmith, Mr. Smooth, signing off. Peace.